What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the KickOut podcast. My name is Mex. I'm alongside my co-host
Skillet, Ryan Skillet. What's going on, everybody?
Ryan Skillet in the building as well. And of course, we have a lovely guest. We've got Hahrts all the way from the US Talk of Champions podcast.
Yes.
Hahrts, how you doing?
I'm fine. Me and Max has done multiple shows together, and I think you've done like 3 with Stan.
Listen, I have to say, I'll say this all the time. This is my guy or girl, should I say.
Yeah.
Hahrts was the first person, when I started doing what I'm doing, Hahrts was the first person that let me on her platform.
We was literally just starting around the same time because we was on the other platform. I mean, we was on Unpopular Review. I can say their name now. It's no longer beef. But we was on Unpopular Review. And then when we left, Max was like, yeah, can I be on your show? He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they let me come
and we
on.
watched a pay-per-view I never seen before, which is a lot.
Yeah, we reviewed WrestleMania 21, I think it was.
I think it was 19, I believe. Wait, no, a matter of fact, whichever one was people like you. I don't know them by numbers. I know them by promos.
Yeah. I can't remember. But
that is
21,
19,
isn't it?
That's 19.
19. Okay.
Because I know for sure I didn't make it to the 20s.
Okay, cool. But yeah. Accepted me on the platform, gave me the confidence to keep going, doing what I'm doing today. So I appreciate Hahrts, appreciate Stan, Talk of Champions. So yeah, thanks for coming on today on KickOut podcast.
Of course, anytime. All you have to say is Mex, and I'm here.
I love. Yeah. I knew Mex would be the pull for you to get involved.
You could have asked me and I would have did it just the same. But Mex was like, definitely, what time?
Yeah. No, I love that though. I love that. It's just, it doesn't matter where you are in this planet. It just it's that connection that we all have as wrestling fans and the passion that we all have to easily draw together and sit down and discuss the weird world of wrestling, which is very weird today, isn't it, Mex? There's a lot going on today. Mex, can you give us a rundown on the big news and what's going on, and then we can talk about Hahrts and introduce Hahrts and let everybody know her journey into becoming a wrestling fan?
Well, yeah, I think the biggest news, which you've all seen in the last 24 hours, is the renaming of Volta to Gunter Stark. Gunter Stark was actually trademarked yesterday or 2 days ago now, and I actually thought, okay, there's Zoe Stark in WWE, in NXT, that is probably just going to be someone attached to Zoe Stark. And especially because WWE, as we know, they don't like people having similar names. So I thought they must be purposely doing this then. And then when Volta walked out, after beating Roderick Strong and named himself Gunter Stark after a Nazi general, yeah. what do you guys think of the new name?
I'll let Hahrts go first.
So first and foremost, if it was just Gunter, I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad. But they have to stick in a last name. I hate this new age wrestling thing where they have to have a first and last name. You can't just have one name anymore or just a cool, nickname. You have to have a first and last name. We have too many of those, and they're just going to take the last name away from him when he gets to the main roster anyways. But if it was Gunter, I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But the Nazi thing is, why?
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, it just breeds old school Vince mentality, doesn't it?
You know what? A lot of people put these things on Vince. Vince is an idiot. But there's a lot of other people that do things to Vince, and Vince likes it and just runs with it.
So are you trying to say this could be a brainchild idea from the one Mr. Bruce Pritchard?
It definitely sounds like a Pritchard idea. Oh my gosh. Anything racist? That's Pritchard.
Oh, of course it is. 100%.
Pritchard is Pritchard or Michael Hayes who got to Vince's ear and said Nazi. He looks like a Nazi. And he's like, look up some Nazi names. Listen, Vince likes shiny things. So if you put something in his face that he likes and it's funny, Vince is going to eat it.
Yeah.
So that's literally all you need. But it's the backlash behind the name that's weird. If it was just we're naming him Gunter and not explaining why, we'd have just be that's dumb, but I guess we like Walter, so Gunter it is,
This is the thing. I don't think that Gunter is massively far all different from Volta, but it's just we all know it's all about this whole intellectual property, and they have
we have to say Gunta because it's Gunta.
and all of this kind of stuff. Like, I understand, I guess, the reasons behind it, but it's like it's a matter of time for me personally. It's a matter of time before he gets into the main roster. They they dress him as an army general, and yeah, he's an anti-American gimmick that we've seen, time and time before.
Will definitely have a Nazi general garb at a WrestleMania.
It's gonna be bananas, isn't it? It's gonna be crazy.
That's scary.
They're probably gonna make some sort of I don't want to say a Nazi sign, but they'll probably give him a logo that's kind of like that's kind of similar to a Nazi sign.
100%.
They'll change the colors. They won't have it red and white. They'll have it maybe white. And
they'll do like the salute, but on the other
side. They'll do some different type of salute. He'll probably have a manager that looks like Hitler. You never know.
So the worst part about this is when it falls directly on its face, because it's not going anywhere. When it falls directly on its face, I don't want them to put the blame on him. Like he said, guys, I want to be named after a Nazi general. Because we've seen that before. Look at EC3. EC3 came and had a bunch of promise, and then they wanted him to do stupid shit with Dean Ambrose that fell flat on his face. And they was like, you can't do shit, guy. And then fired him.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been the main news for today. But another, I guess, big thing that's happening later on tonight, AEW, Jon Moxley is returning. So obviously he's been in rehab for his alcohol addiction for the last few months. I haven't seen him on TV, and yeah, he's worked through it. I guess he was booked and it was announced for the GCW show this weekend in Hammerstein Ballroom. But it looks like he's gonna make a return to AEW before that show.
You feel like the order was like, wait a second.
Yeah, everyone kind of was thinking, I think, why are AEW letting him return to GCW first?
Yeah, because it was like, this is not something you promote the week of. It's something you promote the week before. So Dean Ambrose is coming back. You promote it for a whole week. Everybody knows. If I wasn't on Twitter, I wouldn't have known.
But personally, for me, this is something you don't promote at all. He just comes. He just arrives because that's his character.
I totally agree with that. I think they should have made him come back.
But I think with what you're saying, Skillet, that as wrestling fans, that's what we all love. But I think if I remember correctly, after Sting debuted, and that was a complete surprise at AEW, I think TNT basically turned around and said, no more surprises. Like, everything needs to be told and said, or at least people are expecting it so that we can get the viewership. So yeah, it ruins it for us wrestling fans, but yeah, I guess it's best for business for them.
That's because TNT doesn't know wrestling. They canceled WCW, and it was their highest rated show for the next 5 years after their cancellation. They had nothing that touched the lowest of WCW. TNT doesn't know wrestling. They do want viewers and ratings. And if they want people to watch it, they're going to say, you better promote it. They should have promoted it for last week, though, not just like Tuesday. It came out that he was going to GCW on Monday. For my eyes, I seen it Monday, and then I seen he's back on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, that gives you a bit more insight on why they do these things, and it's not surprises anymore. I guess surprises are going to be saved for pay-per-views now, and not so much for the TV show. But Hahrts, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your journey into wrestling. What was your first love? How did you get into it? What was the first match you ever seen? What was the first angle that got you hooked? Talk to me. Tell us.
I can't say the first match I've ever seen because it's been around my whole life. And I know it's like, oh, that's so generic thing to say. I have an older brother and 2 older sisters that are twins. So they're built-in best friends. And I was younger than them, so they didn't play with me. So when my father would scare us watching scary movies, my other love, I would my mother would be like, go get your stupid ass sister from upstairs. And then I would sit downstairs with my brother while he was either playing wrestling games or video games in general or watching wrestling. So my earliest memories of wrestling is the WrestleMania arcade game, Shawn Michaels music.
Okay, yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett spelling his name. I knew how to spell Jeff Jarrett's name before I knew how to spell my name.
Yeah, I love that.
So those are my earliest memories. The angles that got me in. Now, again, since it's always been around, I had things that piqued my interest. Like Shawn Michaels is a homewrecker. I always will remember that verbatim, the way they had a lady in the shadows saying Shawn Michaels is a homewrecker in the rivalry versus Davey when Diana was trying to say, I know you, Shawn.
Listen, Hahrts, that is one of my see that angle there. I love that angle, and I love.
And then Raw started, and it came on. Shawn Michaels is a homewrecker, and I was just like, what? It was like that was the opening. They didn't even say like "Welcome to Raw." It just said Shawn Michaels is a homewrecker, and this was like, oh shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Diana like blacked out in silhouette?
It was like she was like blacked out, but you can see she was a white lady. So
yeah,
that type of blackout. And she was like in the dark shadows where you could only see like the lower of her face. And it was like, I think it was the lady that used to do the In Your Houses with Tom just because of her voice. And Todd, because she said Shawn Michaels is a homewrecker. And she's like, that's that lady that sold the house with Todd. So it's that. But what hooked me was the NWO.
Oh, come on. Let's go, Hahrts. Let's go.
As you can, I don't know if you guys seen it because I stopped posting my shirts. I have literally like about 6 or 7 NWO shirts. And it's not the Hogan and the NWO that hooked me. It was the Hall and Nash that hooked me.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
It was just how cool they were. And then Hogan came and it was like, ew.
And Hogan did his thing, but
yeah,
I definitely agree with you.
I never liked Hogan.
The real stars.
Like I never, since I was a little girl, I never liked Hogan. Something was off about him to me.
I think Hogan. He obviously his promos were still very much kind of cartoony.
Yeah, that's why they chopped him up that way. But it was so cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, but apart from the promo when he actually turns heel, that was actually a really good promo. But everything else is very like cartoony. But
it was a pivotal promo. But the words was just like.
No, I love that. I actually do love that promo. But
bro, I don't blame you. I just.
You know what I hate about that promo when he said the New World Order of Wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
Like it should have just been New World Order, brother. Yeah. Like when he said of wrestling, a bit of me died.
And he says the same thing about 3 different times in 3 different ways, but it means the same. So it was just like by the time you finished the promo, I was just like, oh man. But when we were younger, we was just looking at the garbage being thrown in and was talking, so we wasn't listening to him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hall and Nash was the stars. They were the real stars. They were the real stars.
Hogan thought he was the star.
I mean, he is a star. I don't like Hogan.
Hogan was Hogan. Hogan had the star of the business. All the older white people that watch Hogan in the 80s was gonna be like, whoa, Hogan's bad now. But for the kids now coming in, they're looking at the cool factor. Hogan was never cool.
I hear you.
Hogan was probably cool when that corny shit was cool, but Hogan wasn't cool to us as kids.
100%. No one's gonna really be
Macho was cool to us as kids.
Of course. Macho was the guy, bro.
Any Macho you put, he was always cool.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Hogan as Hollywood Hogan.
Okay.
That's all I knew.
Really? I'm shocked by that. So you didn't have to be a wrestling fan to know of Hogan though. So I'm surprised.
No, I hear that, but I mean, I think maybe I don't know how old I was when I started watching. My dad started me on WCW.
Yeah, so
I literally started watching. From what he says, I literally started watching like 2 weeks before Hogan joined. So Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are already doing their thing,
right?
And again, like you said, Hahrts, Kevin Nash is literally one of my favorites. Like,
he's in it for the money, and it's like, duh.
I don't care.
He gave us so much. How y'all mad at him?
Yeah, he gets a lot of stick unjustly, I believe, just because he was a man that's literally honest about his intentions.
Yeah.
We can go on hours about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Hollywood Hogan was who I knew. And then obviously when he went to WWE, he kind of changed back to, the red and yellow Hogan a bit and stuff like that. The guy before that became a superstar before he went to WCW, I wasn't really familiar with. Like obviously now I've looked back and watched stuff, but yeah, as a child growing up, I was into him because I was into NWO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got a pass. That's the only time I gave him a pass. I never liked Hogan. What happened is I always thought Hogan was corny, but I thought he was black because my dad was orange with blonde hair. My dad literally has blonde hair and he's orange.
Right.
and skin color. So I was like,
he could be black.
He's black.
Yeah,
then I found out he was not black. And then I was like, he lied to me. He's a liar. Hulk Hogan is a bastard. I don't like that man. And I just felt so deceived. It's the same thing with Lita. Because I thought Lita was Spanish because she was with S.A. Rios.
I thought that as well. I thought that as well.
Yeah. And she sounds like she's underwater and she's not Spanish at all. I was like,
she sounds like she's underwater.
I've never.
Because she was with Essa Rios and she was in Mexico before.
Right?
I thought she was Spanish as well.
Right? So I just felt deceived by that, and I never liked Hogan because a lot of people like, oh, you just hate Hogan because he said no. I hated him before. I hated Hogan before it was cool to hate Hogan. He didn't break my heart with that. I was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I told y'all he was a bad guy. Like I was the only one. So I always had a dislike with him because I thought he was black and he wasn't. And then it was like you're just you're a liar, Hulk Hogan. So then when he joined the NWO, I was like, oh, not him. Not again. He's always in the mix.
Who would you put in your Mount Rushmore? We always ask our
Mount Rushmore. That's hard. So I have to be non-biased, and I have to, because here's the thing, my bias is really bad. I will put I can't do no more because I seen Buff Bagwell do blackface and it broke me. But I would do something like Buff Bagwell just because I really liked Buff as a kid.
Yeah, Buff was an excellent talent before he got injured. I think with the injury with the Rick Steiner Bulldog off the top rope.
So that's when he transformed from a wrestler to a character.
Yeah, 100%, because he couldn't really move as much anymore.
Yeah. But also because he packed in 40 pounds of muscle. Yeah. So he couldn't really do what he was doing before anyways. My Mount Rushmore, Shawn, Brett, Sting.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I love Jarrett. I love Jarrett too much. I love Jarrett too much to not put him there.
I love Jarrett, but he's not Mount Rushmore. But the three, Brett, Shawn, and Sting.
Okay, all right. Let me take away my bias and really sit. If I have to replace Jarrett with anyone, it'll be Macho.
Okay, well that's a great.
Macho's the bridge from the older generation to the new generation that carried through. But Macho, Shawn, Brett, and Sting. I love Sting.
That's a great Mount Rushmore.
But if you had a little fifth one, it'd be Jarrett. If you had a little mountain on the side, it's Jarrett.
And listen, I love Jarrett personally. That's my boy, so I got no problem with that. And what about a top 4 of women?
Top 4 of women. Jacqueline, number 1.
Love that.
Jacqueline. 4 of women. That's harder because a lot of them are newer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't get jiggy with a lot of the women. So Jacqueline, of course, Jazz. Jazz. We could do Naomi. We could do Bianca, the pillars of Black women.
Yeah.
I didn't. If I say Nikki Bella, that's me being biased again. It's because of Total Divas. Total Diva revolutionized women's wrestling.
No, it definitely played a part. I'll say that
bit.
Listen, TNA always been doing things with the women.
Yeah.
But on a larger scale, Total Divas kind of brought a lot of people in.
Yeah.
I think Total Divas is kind of what nudged Ronda in a little bit more.
I agree.
Because if she would have went and they was doing nothing with the women, she would have did that Triple H match and never came back.
Yeah.
There's women. I know you're totally right because there's women I've dated that don't watch wrestling at all, but they know who the Bellas are. They know who Naomi is. You know what I mean? They know these wrestlers. So
I stopped watching wrestling since WCW was brought until about what was it? Raw 1000 is around. That's the first Raw I watched in years. Yeah, I was heartbroken over
that. So you stepped away. You completely stepped away.
I was like, ew, they're gonna ruin all my guys, literally. Never turned it back on. That's why I said I never seen 19. That was literally the week before WrestleMania 17. I never watched that pay-per-view in full. Okay. We had a legal cable box. Where I could have watched it without paying for it, and I decided that's not what I want to do this weekend. So I stepped away and I came back, and around that time, that's when Total Divas was coming on. Hated the Bellas. I always thought they was vapid. I was like, I hated the model era. Then Total Divas, first, second, third season, hilarious. That made me a Nikki Bella fan.
Okay.
It made me a Nikki Bella fan. It made me dislike a lot of the other girls. It made me love Naomi. It made me like, ew, Bree's whack.
Yeah.
So it's for what it done for the woman in the wrestling business. That's why every time someone's like, oh, I don't want to do Total Divas. I don't want to be a diva. Shut up and go get a second bag. That's how people are able to cross over. That's how we're able to get Naomi on a Wendy Williams show and everybody like, oh, cool. You know?
Yeah.
They can do, like, these wrestlers can go to these shows, especially the women, they can go to these shows and be like, I'm a WWE wrestler. And that's enough clout where they're like, okay, so what do you do, like an arm bar? You know, because they don't know. But Total Divas, they're going to ask you about your personal life. Like, how's Jimmy? How's the kids? You know?
Yeah.
But I hated that they always try to, like, dash away Total Divas like it was just a bad thing. It's reality TV, but at this point, it's notoriety. And it's on E, where the Kardashians were. You was going to be seen. That's dumb of every wrestler who said no to that.
So, Jazz, Jacqueline, Naomi, did you say? And Bianca.
Yes, and Bianca. Wow. And I say Bianca because I literally adore that woman since I seen her. I said, ooh, she's going to be something.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all knew she had that star potential. Like, it's true, man. I think she's the best at the moment, to be honest.
She really is. Because everybody talks about her promos. Her promos are better as a heel. Because as a face, it's like, hey, girl, because I'm a good guy. And just like, that's cute.
I'm surprised you don't have Sasha in your top 4.
I didn't like Sasha.
Really?
No. I didn't like Sasha. I didn't like how they made her when she came on. It was just like, they kind of ruined her for me. I liked her a bit of NXT.
Yeah, I love it.
I was just like, as a little girl, Eddie Guerrero was my hero every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a good impression, by the way.
Eddie Guerrero is my hero. I didn't like that. I love blue hair Sasha. She came back and she came back swinging. Blue hair Sasha is like, that's her. That's when she was made as a wrestler. So I like that. I don't care that she's a bitch to the fans because we hate them anyways. So I don't care about none of that. As a wrestler, she's good as a wrestler. I just don't like how she throw herself around because she's only but so big, and every time she do, I kind of wince. Like, please don't break your leg. But
yeah, for real,
she does it for me. Like, I like her, but I'm not a fan of hers. That's the nicest way I can put it without sounding like I'm trying to hate on Sasha, and I'm not. I just don't know how to put that. I wasn't a fan of hers.
That's fair.
Well, we are a few weeks away from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Mex, before we talk about the build-up to Royal Rumble, what's been going on Raw and SmackDown. It's
a build-up to Royal Rumble?
I know, right? Tell me about it. What are some of your favorite Royal Rumbles, Mex? And then we'll ask Hahrts the same question.
Right, you got to get me remembering dates now. I think 2001. Is that the one that
Austin won that one?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking about the wrong one. 2002.
Triple H.
Okay, wait. Let me.
Mr. Perfect came back.
Yeah, that's 2002.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. The one where Maven eliminated Undertaker.
Yeah, that's 2002. Yeah, that's 2002.
That Rumble there.
Yeah, that's a very good Rumble.
That's a good one.
I actually might put that on today. Actually, I might actually watch that match tonight.
I think I watched it a couple months back. It's a good Rumble. 2020, which was obviously quite recent, the one that Drew won, I think was a very good Rumble.
Yes, when Brock Lesnar had his performance and Drew knocked him out.
Yeah.
What about Ric Flair, 92, man?
Yeah. I forget the 91s, but yeah, Ric Flair doing the Iron Man thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. That was proper.
I just hate how he's going through his old life crisis at this moment.
But you know what, Hahrts? He's no disrespect to Flair as much
disrespect
as
him.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna disrespect
him. It's okay.
Yeah, he kind of deserves it, to be fair. Like,
I heard he don't like us.
He's been going through that for a long time, Hahrts. Like he's been a mess for a long time.
It's a different type of mess. The mess before was because of his son.
Yeah.
This mess is
true.
Because a lot of people are now seeing who he always been.
Well, that's what I mean.
He can't hide behind the I'm Ric Flair. Because that got him. Yes, Teddy Long told us years ago that he was a racist. And everybody was just like, but it's Ric Flair. So he kind of was able to skate. Now that Dark Side of the Ring kind of had people like ill, and he can't skate no more.
No, he's done out now.
He should have just shut up. If he would have shut up and said nothing,
or
nothing, he would have just shut up and said nothing for a while. You know.
I agree.
Have a little,
address how you might. But sometimes you just got to address how you've made somebody feel. If you made somebody feel like shit, if you've done something that's really potentially destroyed somebody's life, and say that wasn't your intention, but you still did it, apologize for it. That's all you have to do. But he was so like wrong and strong. He didn't want to be.
People on the internet don't accept apologies. They just want you gone.
That's
so if he would have just been quiet for a while and then do an apology. Then it would have kind of blown over. But he said, no way, Jose. Give me back my belts, WWE. I want the WWF World Championship back. That's my belt. It's not his belt. Give me back my belts. I'm going to have a podcast where I tell you what I think about the new wrestlers. And it was just a quick rollout. And everybody was like, ooh.
Yeah. No,
so every week it's something from Ric Flair where we're still on how many times we have to tell you old man kick. And it's not good for him.
Not fair enough. And Haas, what about you? What's some of your favorite Royal Rumble moments?
Shawn Michaels 1 and 2.
So 95, 96.
Yeah. 97. 97 was a special
because
it was the Texas Rumble.
Yep.
And they had Latin Lover.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Latin Lover. Wait. Was that 97 or was that 90?
That was 97.
Okay, because they had the Latin Lover.
Yep.
And they had all of them.
El Mascaris.
Uh-huh. And was he the one who said he's not gonna be thrown out of the Rumble? So
he said no yob.
He said no yob to himself.
No yob. Nobody throw me over. I'm gonna eliminate myself.
Right? And it was just like, okay, that just shows how like barren that roster was. They was just like, all right, we're in Mexico. Please give us all of your wrestlers. We're not even in Mexico. We're in Texas. Please give us all the Mexico wrestlers, please. Please.
CML.
They called all of them and just kind of brought them over.
What was the guy's name that done a dive from the top rope outside?
Mil Mascaris.
Oh, Mascaris.
He was doing no yob.
He was no yob.
Yeah.
And I remember
Hulk Hogan of Mexico. So he was like, I'm the Hulk Hogan of Mexico. I am not losing to anybody. I'm gonna eliminate myself. No yob.
No one's gonna throw me over. I'm jumping out. Then Latin Lover came out and kicked Goldust in the butt, and then you hear Vince McMahon go right in the keister, and that's how I remember that Rumble. It was just this Vince laughing right in the keister.
You remember one of the funniest moments of that match is when Lawler was commentating. And then it was his theme song playing, and he was like,
"Not up."
Okay, I'm ready to go in now. It's my time to go in. And he goes into the ring, and then Bret Hart punches him out within seconds. And then he puts back his jacket, puts back his crown, and he sits down. That is one of the funniest things. It's classic. Lawler was a G back then. He was so good.
He was. I don't know. He became a character of the Attitude Era.
And he got a bit more sleazier as time went on as well.
No, he was always sleazy. He just started showing it.
Yeah, that's true.
He was sleazy. It's just that we evolved and he did it.
Yeah.
Sure. And also the one where Taka broke his face.
Taka, 2000.
Yeah. We watched that one live, and it was just like the way they just kept laughing at him was relentless.
Crazy.
It was relentless.
I think it was Bossman. Was it Bossman that threw him out?
I don't even remember who threw him out. I just remember him bouncing off the floor.
Yeah, he got thrown. I think Bossman might.
I can hear the noise. It sounded like a basketball on the court.
It might have been Big Show that threw him out. But yeah, that smack in the face was just.
Oof. Okay. Those are kind of my favorites. Every year I feel like I'm gonna watch all the Rumbles, and then I skip the first couple of Hogan ones, and then I get to 2002, and then I try 2003, and it's just rough. Yeah. It's just rough after 2003.
Yeah, 2004 wasn't bad, but obviously we can't mention the winner. And then
I wouldn't even know who the winner was if you didn't say that.
Well, you know now, though, isn't it?
Listen.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Max, let's talk about Raw, and I'm going to talk about AEW as well. But what's been going on in the world of Raw and SmackDown? I know Lita has returned. Give me a little breakdown on what's happening.
Yeah. So I guess if from the stuff that's happens that pertains to the Royal Rumble. Lita's returned. Charlotte's entering the Rumble as champion.
Yes.
Because they I can see Hahrts saying why. It's because they ain't got no other challengers. They're clearly not promoting anyone. There's people there, but they ain't building anyone up in time.
If they brought in Mickie James, they literally can bring in anyone.
I mean, there's people there. There's people there that work for them, like Shayna Baszler, Naomi. There's people on the roster, but they don't want to give them a championship match. They rather put Charlotte into the Rumble. I mean, we talk about predictions in a bit, and I think one of my predictions could play into that. But yeah, so yeah, Charlotte's in the Rumble. Lita's come back saying that, you know, in her day, there was no Women's Rumble, that she's entered the Women's Rumble before. Now she wants to enter it and win it, go to WrestleMania. So there might be a story there for Lita, or at least a WrestleMania match in her future. In terms of Raw, obviously we're building towards at Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar versus Lashley. Really good video package this past week, showing both men's accolades from, you know, wrestling in high school to, in terms of Brock, WWE, MMA, back to WWE, and then Bobby Lashley, high school, going into the army, wrestling there, WWE, Bellator. They skipped over everything he done in TNA, of course.
Honestly, they're not gonna mention a run that's better than anything they've done.
Yeah, they just skipped
They brought
everything.
him back and gave him Sisters and Lana, so they're gonna ignore where he was a dominant force.
Yeah, and then they I mean, to be completely honest, if you're a fan that just watches WWE and you never knew that, it didn't take away from what was a fantastic video package and selling, obviously, what is going to be a great match. It didn't take anything away, but for us that know, it's like, why are you not acknowledging this?
Did they not acknowledge that her name's come up. Mickie James was in TNA. Did they not mention that?
So when they announced it, they didn't. They just said Mickie James, and then Pat McAfee said Impact Knockouts champion Mickie James.
The internet people wrote it.
Okay. Yeah, the social media people when they put it on.
If you listen back, Michael Cole said nothing of that nature.
Okay, all right.
I looked at him like, nigga.
Why can't they do that with Lashley? At least internet people, at least
I think they would have done it if the Mickie James didn't turn into a fire.
I think you're right.
The forbidden doors are open.
Yeah.
WWE, and it was just like, no, we don't like y'all.
Yeah.
We just need a woman.
I think you're spot on there, Hahrts. I think you're definitely right there.
I think they would have mentioned it. It's no reason for them not to mention it. They had that relationship with TNA where they were like, oh, bye, and they'll use it. They used it for the Hardys when the Hardys came back. So they did have at least had that relationship with TNA where they can mention them and use their footage. They did it before. They don't care about TNA.
Yeah. I just think it's the accolades and stuff they don't want to mention. They don't want, obviously it's the WWE universe. They don't want to acknowledge anything that's outside of that. So it's all
dominated the indies, and we would have been like, cool.
Something like that, yeah. Or went to other promotions in North America. But yeah, they just didn't acknowledge it. But still looking forward
Canada
to it.
now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're in Canada. It's owned by a Canadian company.
I see. So yeah, it's all just build to the Rumbles. We're getting the usual stuff. I think the Street Profits have declared they're in the Rumble. Rey Mysterio, Dom Mysterio declared they're in the Rumble. We have the usual nonsense of, you know, throwing people over the top rope weeks before the Rumble just to show them that, you know, I can do this to you in the Rumble. So, but yeah, the match should be good in that.
So, do you guys have any predictions on who you think is going to win the Rumble this year?
Oh, no damn prediction at all.
Yeah.
Whatever. People are saying Biggie. People are saying Bianca. I stopped making predictions for the Rumble when random people won. Like when Shinsuke won, I was like, all right. Because that came out of nowhere. He wasn't being built like he was about to in the Rumble or the championship. And it was just like, I win. And I was like, all right. So that just let it alone. The Women's Rumble is always a shocker. Last year wasn't a shocker because it was nobody else, but this year now they have Lita.
That's the same reason why this year is not a shocker, in my opinion.
I feel it might be
Bianca.
Charlotte, and they might try to push that Becky and Charlotte again on us.
So you think Bianca's gonna win it twice?
Listen, it didn't have to happen the first time, but I feel they might try to go back to that.
I think Bianca, look, the story has been from SummerSlam. Becky stole the title 26 seconds, and Becky's basically been running from her since, avoiding her, cheating to win. And if Bianca wins the Royal Rumble, there is no denying that Bianca is next for that title. So yeah, I think Bianca versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania Raw Women's Championship. My only other pick, which I said like it will go into Charlotte, is Asuka returning and Asuka winning the Rumble.
I thought you were gonna say Lita. I was about to leave.
Oh no! I don't think Lita's winning at all. But I think Asuka's just been cleared.
The Bianca thing, I feel it's too obvious. They're trying to like push it in our face too much. Like, look at this, psych. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So I feel it's too obvious to go with that. I don't know who's ringing this doorbell, but I'm not answering it. But I feel it's too obvious for me to run with that. Because once they push in the face, like, I'm going to be the second Rumble winner, that person's not winning at all.
Do you think, is Sasha legitimately injured?
That's what
I don't know.
It's going to be Sasha, man. It's going to be Sasha, man.
Yeah. So they said Sasha's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
It's Sasha.
And yeah, for them to come out and say that.
Come back, right?
Yeah, they don't really. The same with. I'm very skeptical on Drew McIntyre and Sasha because they've both said that, you know, the minute they got injured, it's like, oh, they're out for this long. So yeah, Sasha's definitely a name. Sasha versus Charlotte at WrestleMania would be massive as well.
And Sasha this time wins.
Yeah.
Never won a WrestleMania match before.
Yeah.
So this would be good. This is good for her to win. Obviously, doing the honors for Bianca last year, I think it'd be good for Sasha to win it this year. I
agree.
I think they run those matches dry to the bone that I can't even get excited about it.
I agree with that too. Especially with the Sasha Charlotte matches, right? Yeah, because they've had so many. I agree. I personally don't want to see Sasha versus Charlotte. I would like to see Sasha win the Royal Rumble, but
I would love to see Bianca versus Charlotte because each time they kind of gave it to us.
Yeah,
it was great, but it ended fucked up.
So what happens if Charlotte gets eliminated? She don't lose the title, does she?
No.
Her caveat is if she wins the Rumble, she can pick her WrestleMania opponent.
Right. So she can.
That's dumb as hell.
I choose Shotzi and then squashes Shotzi.
That's really dumb.
But this is the thing: you don't build up anyone else for whatever reason. Like, this is what they're left to do. Charlotte hasn't been on any pay-per-view for the last few because there's no one to face. Toni Storm was her last competitor on SmackDown, and Toni Storm don't work for the company anymore. Before that, she was, when Charlotte was Raw Women's Champion, she defended it against Bianca and got herself disqualified. And before that, she defended it against Nia Jax, and Nia Jax ain't in the company no more. So they ain't building anyone towards Charlotte at all.
No, they're not building anyone. They're not building their champions. They're not building competitors. They're not building anyone. So now it's just a bunch of matches that were like, oh, that's happening? Cool. The only match that any of us wants to see is Bobby and Brock.
Yeah, yep. For sure. That's true.
And the only reason they gave that to us is because Roman got COVID.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. Do you think, all right, let's talk about that. Brock versus Bobby. Obviously, I feel Brock's going to retain, but or do you think there's going to be some sort of DQ where Roman and the Bloodline gets involved, and then we see a triple threat at WrestleMania?
I genuinely think Bobby Lashley's winning.
Really?
I genuinely think
because of Roman. Because Roman
maybe by hook or by crook, yeah, maybe Usos or someone get involved. I think Bobby Lashley's walking out WWE champion. Brock Lesnar goes into the Rumble and wins the Rumble, and that's how he gets to Roman. That's what I think is happening.
That's a good prediction. I like that. And I guess that would solidify. I mean, Bobby's already a main event star. I'm not saying he's not, but it would kind of really give him that, you know,
because he beat Brock and not The Miz.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, even though Vince is questionable with his booking, I do know Vince has a lot of stock in Bobby. You know,
100%.
Vince does love Bobby. He actually does love Bobby. So I can see that happening. So I didn't think about him entering the Royal Rumble didn't think about that. But
so I thought the other way. If he loses, he'll lose early in the match and then end up in the Rumble and end up winning again. I thought that about Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar is my first choice. If not, and they do something else, my other names are throwing there: Big E and Kevin Owens.
They have to make Big E mean. Not a bad guy, not a heel, but pissed off.
I agree.
But that's kind of what he was just before he lost the title. He was a bit more, like, I'm serious.
I get to talk about this. So, we went to a Raw. We went to a Raw at the UBS Arena. Yeah. And it was the Raw when Edge came back and Miz came back, and it was that Raw.
Okay, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So, we went. And Big E came out. And as serious Big E as they wanted him. They didn't want him gyrating his hips and pancakes and all the stuff that we loved Big E for. Big E came out to a mild reaction. I didn't have any voice or my reaction would have been louder. And if you go to my page, you can hear how the reaction is for Big E. Then during the match, mild reaction. Like I felt, because our section, the section that we were in, was like literally underneath the hard cam on the floor. So all night they were just screaming for everybody. They screamed for Doudrop and Liv, and they was even clapping for Dana for whatever reason. Beats me. But Big E came out and everybody's energy was depleted. The match was really long and really boring, but the energy depleted. Seth was banging the New Day Rocks chant on the table to get people to clap it, and it really didn't go off. And I felt that he looked at me like, come on, baby, y'all was loud all night. What about me, Big E? But I didn't have it. I couldn't scream. I had no voice. Literally. And it's a video of it. Show ends. The dark matches, Roman and the Usos, Kofi, Drew, and Xavier. Literally, after he lost and nobody had energy to clap for Big E, everybody loses their shit for Roman.
Oh shit!
Then in front of me is screaming, they got red. I literally could have went like this and hit Big E. Big E walks past right behind my seat. I said, Big E just walked past me. I don't care. They're screaming for Roman, who hasn't even came out yet. His music is just playing. So I knew then that they were about to take the battle for Big E.
Right. I mean, I didn't get to see much of Big E's title run, if I'm honest. Even till this day, I'm still a bit one in, one out with
yeah.
Big E.
By the time Big E would come on, I would already like, I'm tired of this shit and turned Raw off.
I heard that.
It's about the 9:30 hour. I was like, I bet.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people wasn't really invested in this champ. You know. It's a shame because we all wanted him to win the belt, and we all cheered when he did win it. It's just keeping it. It's a different story.
Right now, I feel Big E winning a Rumble is too soon. His character has to be rehabbed.
You know what's so weird about all this though? If Big E was to ever turn heel on the New Day, he would be the biggest star.
Ew, boo.
The crowd. Max, do you agree?
No.
He probably would be.
I think if he turned heel against the New Day,
they're not even together. Why they got a beef? What you want them to look like the Hurt Business?
I am not saying I want that.
The Hurt Business is out here looking dumb.
I agree with you, and I love New Day.
And I feel that's how it's gonna happen if they split the New Day. They just gonna look stupid because you can tell that they don't hate each other.
No, I don't know. I disagree with that. I feel like there's a core wrestling audience that wants Big E to turn heel. 100.
Not weird. Listen, I would never say no to a heel Big E or a heel New Day in general. They don't have to turn on each other though.
Yeah, they just need to turn heel. Yeah, New Day just needs to turn heel.
They don't have to turn on each other. Do you remember when I think it was in John Cena and he was like, I don't take you serious, New Day? And they went backstage and Dolph music was playing because it was supposed to be John Cena versus Dolph, and they beat the fuck out of Dolph and dragged him out there.
Yeah.
I would love to have that New Day every day.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Listen,
heel turn Big E.
You don't need them to turn on each other. We just need something different. They're like, yeah, turn on the New Day. That's dumb as fuck. That's stupid. They don't look like the Hurt Business, just fighting for no reason, even though they was just friends a couple days ago. Yeah. Bobby keeps telling them, I don't like you anymore. No, that's dumb. Yeah. It makes Bobby look like an asshole. and it makes the Hurt business look like dweebs because they keep coming back.
Yeah.
They don't need that. They do need maybe to be refreshed. They don't have to be full heel, but they can slowly transition. They can't, like, as you can see, what they're doing in their storylines right now is all reason for them to be heel. They're all just getting like that. They're getting bits and pieces, and it's not enough. Kofi should have went heel after he lost to Brock.
Probably.
Yeah.
Kofi should have been fucking shit up after he lost to Brock. And Big E should be fucking shit up. Because he just lost to Brock. So
Big E lost, and then he lost the week later to Seth Rollins in a singles match, and then he wasn't even on TV last week.
But then he lost the week before.
Yeah,
and the week before. And I think the show I was at, he lost too. He lost to Roman. He should be pissed off. Because we're pissed off. So
who are we guessing for that match then? We're just gonna stick. Max, you gave your prediction.
What is this? Brock versus?
Yeah.
I want Bobby to win because, of course, my prediction will be Bobby, but I probably see Brock retaining because they like the champion versus champion idea.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Okay, and Max, what's been going on in the world of AEW before we wrap up this show? Anything else? Anything of note? Anything
what has been going on at AEW? Lance Archer returned last week. He took out Hangman, so it looks like maybe a little interim feud, Lance Archer versus Hangman. They've got the Beach Break TV special pay-per-view thing at the end of January, so that's probably a match for there. Sami Guevara, I think Cody got COVID, I think, and he couldn't have his match against Sami Guevara, so Dustin stood in his place. And we had Dustin versus Sami Guevara for the interim TNT championship. Great match. Sami Guevara won it. Sami Guevara then defended the belt last week against Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
And Cody's coming back to TV this week, which is interesting. I think we've all seen the news as well that Cody is a free agent. He doesn't have an AEW contract, which is weird, but at the same time, he's an EVP, so I don't think anyone should get excited.
Management.
Yeah, I don't think anyone get excited that we might see him at the Rumble or anything like that. I think that's mainly it. Jade Cargill, obviously, she won the TBS championship some weeks back.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointing last week they didn't put her on TV on TBS a week after she wins it. Like they done a little vignette or something of her saying, "Yeah, I'm that bitch." But come on, like she's now the champion of the network. Put her out there in the middle of the ring. Send her in front of real life fans. They just
it should be the Jade Cargill show, shouldn't it? It should
exactly.
It's been that for months.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that she made her debut all big and bad coming out against Brandy. And ever since then, all her vignette and talking segments have been backstage. And she's got this smart Mark guy kind of talking for her. Well, you're not that bitch then, are you? Like,
and the size of her as well. The size of Jade Cargill, like she's so strong. You could obviously tell. She could probably whoop every woman in that locker room. So book her that way. Book her as a bit of a bully, intimidating people, taking over, cutting off promos, get out of my ring, this is my show, why you guys waiting?
Well, they had to get her a second belt so she could win that because they wasn't taking the belt off of
Britt Baker.
Right?
Yeah. Which is crazy.
But then they booked themselves into a corner with that though. They kept putting Jade Cargill out there. They kept giving her wins.
Undefeated, and then
they have the ranking system. The ranking system says she's number one contender, so she had to face the champion. And to avoid that, okay, let's produce this other belt that she can win, which is fair enough. But now you have to treat her like a champion.
As a champion,
absolutely. Yeah. I think hopefully they will get it right. There is a few still a few things that AEW does that kind of boggles my mind at times, and they're not. Is Jay Lethal?
I had a phone call. I don't know why people think.
No, don't worry. But no, we didn't notice. We didn't notice.
You went black.
Jay Lethal, is he not doing something with the TNT belt or something like that?
Well, no. All of a sudden, Jay Lethal's returned to TV after like a month of not being on TV. He's returned. He's been on Dark. He's been on Elevation. He came out the other day to save Dante Martin from Team Taz, Ricky Starks, and now he's challenged Ricky Starks on tonight's Dynamite for the FTW Championship.
I really feel like Big up Big Swole, man. I'm just gonna say it. Big up Big Swole. Like, a lot of people were giving her stick for what she was saying, but what she was saying was so needed, because subconsciously, as much as you are doing things and doing things a bit more progressive than other wrestling companies, in the back of your mind, you're still not seeing black people as a draw, or you're still not
positions. You're
not seeing black people in certain positions to be, used on TV. And I know it's a bit in vain that some of this is a knee-jerk reaction to what she has said, which is a shame. But at the same time, I'm glad somebody said it.
You sure the hip-hop album isn't the knee-jerk reaction?
I'm not listening to that.
I think that definitely is too. 100%.
Hip-hop for Black History, yay!
Yeah, I know. We're going to make everybody rap. You see, Vince would never do that.
We're going to get your favorite Twitter rappers to rap about your favorite black wrestlers in AEW.
I'm not listening to it. I'm telling you, from now. No one say, "Oh, what do you think of track 5?" I'm telling you, I don't listen to it.
I promise you this. It better be fucking good. Because if I hear a whack-ass track, I'm going to go off on Tony. I'm going to go off on AEW and the rapper themselves, B. It better not be one miss. It better fucking be better than any album I ever heard. Because if it's some garbage and you put this out for Black History Month, I promise you, it's a problem. But let me shut up. Because the internet people are like, wow, this is a really great album, Tony. Thanks. Everybody saying they're tapping for it because they know the people who rapping. Fuck them. Fuck that album. I'm not going to say fuck the people because they ain't never do nothing to me. But
yeah, go ahead.
Who gonna listen to Tony come and say, "Oh, I got an idea for Black History Month, a hip hop album," and not be offended?
I hope West Side Gun's involved in it. That's what I want to know.
I don't even think he's on it.
He's probably not.
Wait, they had a track list.
Yeah, is there a track list?
Let me find it.
I think there was. Yeah. I think there was.
Because I think Mega
West Side Gun is in their shows nearly every week. And if he's not in it,
Leo Rush is on it. I know the Josiah guy is on it. Let me find
Josiah Williams, yeah.
Hold on. I think Mega Ran is on it.
This is crazy.
I hope he's good. I hope he's good.
Okay.
And
Who We Are, a celebration of excellence. Music inspired by the stories of Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, Mark Henry, Ricky Starks, Jay Lethal, Will Haas, Nyla Rose, The Acclaim, Scorpion Sky, Anthony Ogogo, and more. Music written and produced and performed by Leo Rush, Max Caster, Omega Sparks and Swats, Josiah Williams, Mont Easy, Mega Ran, Courtwright, and E-Quip, Will Washington, Righteous Reg, Brinson, Rated R, True God, Blitz, Tizzy, Stay Low Dom, and more. Wait, hold on. Let me read this last page real fast. Also there will be an MLK. Oh, they had an MLK charity stream. Mega Ran did. Sorry.
Interesting.
I know a couple of them people because they was on Twitter. I know two of them people because they wrestlers.
I know Leo Rush and I know Josiah Williams. I know Max Caster, of course, as well. That's it.
Will Washington. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Fuck out of here. He came at me on Twitter because I said people scream fuck Hulk Hogan with their chest, but want to give Tessa a chance, and he's like, I don't see that on my timeline, bitch. I seen it on mine.
You know what though? And what you just said there, Hahrts, is the realest shit, because I see that, and I'm all the way in the fucking UK.
I promise you, it's so much that I want to scream about these people on wrestling Twitter and these wrestling podcasts. I want to scream it to the sky, but I be trying to play nice.
No, but you're absolutely right. That's what I love about you, though. You just speak from your heart. You're just real.
It's so phony. I know someone who like, oh man, we gotta protect black women, but Tessa's cool. Maybe she got the okay to say it. Big black man, two big black men telling us how it's okay for Tessa to say it. She not racist because she date black men. Listen, women of other races will suck and swallow the semen out your penis, but they will not like the woman you came from.
It's
black
real,
men.
though.
A lot of women from other races you guys are a fetish to them.
100%.
You guys are the equivalent of feet in some ways. But y'all be dancing and doing a fucking cash patch to them. telling everyone how much y'all like them more than black women. Listen, it's sad out here, B. Y'all fetishize and y'all sitting there doing a robot with it. It's bad.
No, Hahrts, you're saying some
black men need to do better sometimes.
Well, yeah, we talk. You're speaking some real shit, though. You're speaking some real shit.
It's true.
And they don't want to hear that as well. Trust me, they don't want to hear that. But you're absolutely right.
It's true.
Hahrts, where can people find you? Where can people follow you? Where can people listen to your podcast? Please plug away, please.
Okay, so if you want to hear more, one second. My nephew's running up to me. If you want to hear more of me, I am one half of Talk of Champions. You can find us. We go live on Facebook sometimes. Ever since Dan started wrestling, our show schedule has went down. So sometimes we're trying to do it more. I think we're gonna do something for the Rumble, but we're on Facebook.com/Talk of Champions. We have a group. It's bad. They just fight about AEW and WWE all day. Talk of Champions on Twitter. Talk of Champs on Twitter. Talk of Champions on Instagram. I'm Hahrts, Hahrts on both Twitter and Instagram. And my name Shantice Folson. No, don't go to Folson. Folson is the second page I made because I went to Facebook jail. Go to Shantice Bullock. That's my main Facebook page. That's where you can find me. I think I named all the places.
Well, you've been a most dynamic, great guest today. I love that you come on. You've talked your opinions. You've got the passion. That's what we love here on the KickOut podcast.
Thank you. Someone's not gonna like me if they hear this.
Who cares what they think?
I don't care.
Exactly. And we'll try and get you on as much as we can.
Listen, all you have to do is let me know. I'm cool with it.
Thank you so much.
Dan is a little bit harder to get in contact with because he wrestles and he has a shoot full-time job that's overtime each day.
Well, so I see the shit he be doing online, and he's absolutely incredible. We'll love to have you both a little power couple episode.
Listen, Saturdays or some Monday evenings we can do it.
Because I know you guys, I through the little clips I see online, I know you two share that wrestling experience together, and I know he's a massive fan as much as you are, because obviously he's a wrestler himself. But.
Listen, Mex knows Stan's the worst.
I love the pair of them, man. Yeah. We got to sort it out sometime.
Very entertaining. So yes, we'll definitely do a power couple episode with the both of you for sure. Anything from you, Mex, before we sign out?
No. Everyone just keep following the KickOut podcast, Instagram, Twitter, all the usual places.
Absolutely, and we'll be back again with a Royal Rumble review, and hopefully our man Alex McCarthy from he's not on.
Sport.
Is he still on TalkSport?
TalkSport, yeah.
Okay, cool. From TalkSport, will be on our show. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, thank you so much. You're out.
Take care.